So Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City at the end of the season. This is absolutely huge news, absolutely massive news. So there's been a lot of managers going to be moving around this summer, a lot of new ones coming in, a lot leaving the current roles as well. But Guardiola leaving Man City, this feels absolutely huge for the Premier League, absolutely massive for him, for Manchester City, for everyone involved. This is massive, massive news. And it's something that's been rumoured for a long time. For a couple of seasons now, it's been rumoured that he could be going, but I really thought he would stay beyond this season. But it does seem like this will be his last season now. It's been announced that he will leave after these last few games. They play Bournemouth tonight, failed to win, that hands the title over to Arsenal. They then have a final day home fixture, which whether they can win the league or not, it will be a fantastic send-off for him that he well and truly deserves, I have no doubt. When they're home to Aston Villa, I think though this is huge. I mean, we've had a lot of big news recently in football, in the Premier League in particular, but this is massive. And from a completely non-biased perspective, I think any football fan can look at his time at Man City and just the 10 years he's been there. He's been there 10 seasons now, the longest serving current manager in the Premier League. But in 10 seasons there, he's won 20 major honours. 20, and that's double what anyone else has won. Any other English side has won in that time. Liverpool over the last 10 years have had 9, and that in itself, 9 trophies over a 10-year period, is a really impressive return. It's basically a trophy every season. But Guardiola, his time at City, if you include in all major honours like Super Cup, Community Shield, those ones as well, then he's averages 2 trophies a season, including them. And well, and they've never finished outside of the top 4 under him. They've always been one of the top 2 pretty much over his entire reign, Manchester City. And I think anyone can say just like this is one of the greatest, sort of in terms of an individual manager, one of the greatest achievements we've seen in football. He's up there, Guardiola, with the all-time greats. He is an all-time great manager, up there with, I mean, after Alex Ferguson, a lot of people will argue that possibly the best manager to manage in the Premier League. And some might even take him to Guardiola over Ferguson now, when you think he has actually got a better year-by-year trophy return. I know he's not had quite such the longevity, but you could definitely make the argument now. The one trophy that eluded Man City till he come in, he won them as well, the Champions League, 6 league titles, 3 FA Cups, I think it's 5 League Cups as well, won all the other things as well, the Shield, the Club World Cup, the Super Cup. He's won all of that as well. He's won everything. He's won every trophy available to him at some point in his 10 years at Manchester City. His first year there, they finished in because there was always, before he came in, they just established himself as one of the regular competitors for the Premier League title, for the top 4 and everything. They was in the top 4 most seasons. They had a couple of league titles, one under Pellegrini, the Mancini had obviously got them their first ever one as well, but he just took them up another level and has just made them one of the most recognised football clubs in the world. And yeah, whatever you think of City and the way they've gone about their rise to the top, Guardiola, no one could fault the job he's done. He's been absolutely incredible. Every player he's brought in, he's integrated into his system. He's pretty much created a new way of playing football that now so many managers try to replicate. So yeah, this is huge. His first season at Manchester City, it was the only trophy this season as well, got them top 4. Every season after that, they've won something. They've had 4 league titles in a row as well, quite recently as well, 6 from 7, which is more, in that period, more times than PSG won the French league, I believe, as well. I think they had 5 in 7, so that just puts into perspective how dominant Man City have been over this league. So whatever I think of Manchester City, massive respect to Guardiola. I have nothing but respect for him, one of the greatest ever football managers. And the Premier League, the Premier League will certainly look a lot different without him there next season. It'll be very, very unusual. It's going to take a long, long time to get used to seeing a Manchester City side without Guardiola at the helm. It's going to be very unusual. And 2 games left now, only 2 league games. He's won them 2 trophies this year as well, done them the Cup double this season though. 2 games left in the Premier League, that'll be the last we see of Guardiola at Manchester City. And when you let that sink in, then you really know how big that is, because he's one of the best ever. It's just careers in terms of his career at Manchester City, one of the best ever, and even he had won obviously trophies before he went there. Obviously his time at Barcelona, even though his sort of tenure was cut short at Bayern, he still won their major honours as well. So yeah, there's just never a season where Guardiola's not one of the his team's not one of the main front runners, and he's one of the only managers that's actually got that, like almost season after season his teams have almost always been in a title race, and it's very, very rare that you see a manager be able to keep up that level of consistency. So after it sunk in, the news, just how big this was, the fact he'll be leaving, one of the first questions that popped up in my mind, and I think this would have been the same for a lot of people, was, well, who will replace him? What on earth will Man City do next? Well, it seems like they've already got a replacement lined up. It looks pretty much a done deal that Enzo Meresca will take charge of Manchester City for next season, signing on a 3-year deal. Now that's massive as well. It's a bold move for Manchester City, but makes a lot of sense, seeing he's someone who's worked under Man City, gets a system, and a system that he's sort of tried to integrate into his own managerial style as well. As I said, heavy influence on how he has sets up as a manager as well. So the more you think about that, the more that makes sense. He's been linked with this job for a while as well. Obviously, Maresca took Leicester up in his first season in English football as a manager. He had a couple in Italy before that, I believe, but then he took Leicester straight up. Chelsea then obviously took him on, and his first season at Chelsea gets him top 4, and obviously won us Club World Cup, won us Conference League as well. And as a Chelsea supporter, I always hold him in high regard for that, even if I wasn't his biggest fan week in, week out, and the biggest fan of. There were certain things about him that just frustrated me. I found there's a lot he did well, Maresca, at his time at Chelsea, but I did find him stubborn at times. I did think in terms of in-game management, in terms of the persistence with the same setup, I found him to be quite stubborn at times. But what I will say is he's proven he can win, and with everything he's going to have set up for him at Manchester City to go in and take over Guardiola, it doesn't feel like a David Moyes situation taken over from Alex Ferguson. It feels very much like the whole system, the whole kind of setup's already there for him to just come in and take charge. Whether he'll run with it or not, it remains to be seen. I mean, Man City, this is going to be a transitional period now. They might not be the dominant force over the next couple of years that we've seen from them recently. Will other teams have to take the chance to capitalise on this now? Will this mean Arsenal are likely to win the league this year? Will they become what, under Arteta, what Man City have been for so long? It's hard to say, because Arsenal just simply don't have the same return of trophies, of major honours, even without the Premier League. The other trophies have just been out of reach from as well over recent years. It looks like they're finally going to get their hands on the Premier League this season, but yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, could this open the league up? Will Maresca really run with this? It's hard to say. I think he will do a good job. I think the potential's there for him to do a very, very good job, and I think a lot of people will say that. And his time at Chelsea, I think there was things that went on off the pitch, from my understanding, that which also had a major impact on him getting sacked as well. Solely looking at the results, decisions seemed a bit harsh over that period. Although the results weren't good enough, if you look how much worse we've gotten since then there is a possibility this season, if City go on and have a good season next season, that could look like a massive mistake from a Chelsea perspective, depending on how all things obviously work out with Alonso and everything. But what I will say is, obviously things went wrong off the pitch. He obviously had major disagreements with the owners, like most managers have had that have gone there. I think there will be very, very different setup for him at Manchester City. I think it'll be set up much better for him to be able to sort of do his thing there, and he's got Guardiola's sort of guidance and influence already, so he can already sort of, I think players will take to him just simply because of that. And I think a lot of the Chelsea team did take to him as well. There was a lot of players that were really upset to see him go, so I think he knows how to win a team over, he knows how to get a team to play for him, and yeah, big move for City, but I think the potential's there for it to be, there's potential there for him to be the ideal candidate for the job. I mean, the realistic options, it felt like it probably would be someone who's worked under Guardiola before in that way. Vincent Kompany obviously played under Guardiola, but and I was thinking, that was the first manager I thought of, really. I mean, I did wonder, I didn't think he'd leave Bayern, but I thought if he would go anywhere, it would be to Manchester City. But yeah, it seemed like they've already had this lined up for a while. Part of the problem with Maresca at Chelsea, one of the reasons I think he left as well, was because he was allegedly already in talks with Man City to potentially replace Guardiola at some point, like behind the scenes and stuff, which obviously as soon as you start talking to other managers when you're already under contract at one club, it's never going to end well. People are already going to start to people are going to have something to say about that. But yeah, it's about all I can say, really. But for the most part why I wanted to make this video is just to say, well, just an incredible tenure that Pep Guardiola's managed to have at Manchester City. I mean, 20 major honours is just unlike anything really that I've certainly seen the manager achieve in my lifetime, and I think a lot of people will say the same. I think, yes, this is one of the all-time, he really is one of the all-time greatest managers. So what do you think about this? I mean, what's next for Pep as well? Will he get I imagine he'll probably take at least a year or so off. I imagine he'll probably have some time away now, but I don't think this is the last thing. I think he will come back, quite possibly. I reckon maybe as a national team manager. I couldn't see him managing anywhere else in England because of his reign at Manchester City and how much of an icon he is there. But I could see him maybe doing a national team manager job. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Enzo Meresca, how does he do at Manchester City? This is big. It's a big responsibility for him. Obviously, a massive role. But how do you think he'll do? Let me know.